Hi and welcome. Today I'm sharing another page in the brand new journal I shared with you on Friday, and I have already primed the page with a layer of gesso, and as I'm using Distress Oxides I used not my heavy gesso because it's really smooth without much texture. I've used the Liquitex Basic here, and it's a little bit gritty and also not as thick, and the Distress Oxides work better on it because when you have a very smooth surface which is non-porous, they often don't dry really good, especially when you use them pure and not mixed with water. Today I'm mixing them with water, and I'm working with a mini round jelly plate to apply the inks to my background. This is one of my favorite techniques because you can create really interesting textures on the background, and the results are always different and normally they look pretty nice. The only thing you have to take a little bit care of is not to create mud. To avoid that, I make sure that I dry each layer with my heat tool before I switch from warm colors to cool ones. And here you see me using my heat tool to dry the page, and what I also do is I spritz some water with my spray bottle on the background. This creates even more texture. Here I dried it in between, although I go in with another warm tone, but just because I don't want to get everything mixed together, I want to create more contrast. I'm cleaning the jelly plate on a piece of scrap paper, and I will use this paper later for my main image. I dried this completely, and while doing this with my heat tool I spritzed more water on the background, which created this nice texture. And here I'm going in with, I believe it's the moss green. I'm using autumn colors because at the moment I really love them. I have the feeling that there's something fresh missing as a contrast against the warm colors, and here I'm using the cracked pistachio just a little bit. I plan to create a scene on the page, and to give it dimension I'm using the We Love stamps and just stamp them to the background. I'm using Archival inks, I believe. It must be Archival. I don't use the oxides to stamp because when you are stamping directly with the oxides and you have a surface as gesso or non-porous, they will not dry. Or maybe they will dry, but it will take days. I tried it once and that page was wet for a lot of days, and it was so annoying, and I will never use it again on gesso. Just mixed with water, then it works pretty good. I use green color and the plum color to match my colors on the background. My main image is one of my Wildflower stamps, and I have already stamped and cut it out onto my piece of scrap paper. I stamped one flower, well, I cut one flower directly on the black outline to make it match perfectly into the page, and one I cut with a tiny border around, and here I'm just trying to see which one I want to use, and at the moment I can't remember which one I've used finally. We will see. Yes, I used the one that was cut out directly on the black outline, and so I can place it in perfectly onto the stamped image of my page. I believe I've used glossy accents to stick it down, which was maybe a mistake because it dries so quick that I don't have enough time to arrange everything perfectly. So next time I will go back to my Tombow glue stick for doing such things, because you have plenty of time, I would say a minute, to rearrange and correct your position. I also stamped my sentiment. It comes with the set, and I stamped it to also that scrap paper which I used to clean my jelly plate. And I cut the words into pieces, and I will arrange them on the left side. To make the words pop even more, I'm using a black watercolor pencil, and I'm drawing around the words and just use a brush to make the pigment flow. And I decided to do the same with the flower because it almost melts into the background, and this will make it stand out even more. As always, I have linked up the blog post of this page to the video description, and you can check out some detailed close-up photos. And also check out my top right corner info box, because I have linked up some videos you might be interested in. To finish my page up, I want to have some black splatters on the page, and therefore I'm using the black soot of the Distress Oxides, and I just squish the ink onto my glass plate, and then I mix it up with water, and I can create some splatters. And here is the finished spread. I had a lot of fun creating it because of all the texture going on the background. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope we will see us next time. Bye!